Hello guys, Marie here. So today I'm gonna do some sort of tips and tricks video, or hacks video as all the cool kids say, I think. So this is another collab with Pilot Nordic that is also sponsoring this video, so thank you. And even if this is a sponsored video, all I say will still be my own and honest opinion as usual. So if you've seen some of my previous videos made with Pilot products, you know that I tried these Pilot FriXion pens before, and what is a little special with these pens is that the ink is erasable, and there is a lot of fun and interesting stuff that you can do with these pens, which I'm gonna show you in today's video. And all this is to celebrate 10 years of the Pilot FriXion pens, and to celebrate even more, we're having a giveaway over at Instagram. So if you want to win a whole box filled with these FriXion pens, head over to my Instagram account for more information how to enter. So let's check out these FriXion pens. First, I'm just gonna show you real quick how these pens work if you haven't seen them before. As I said, the ink is erasable, but it isn't really the eraser that makes this ink disappear. It is actually the heat generated by the friction when erasing that makes this special ink disappear, which means that you can also use a hairdryer or another source of heat to erase the ink. And the cool thing is that when you expose the erased ink to cold, like putting it in a freezer or using cooling spray like I do, it will reappear again. So that's what I'm gonna experiment with here today and show you different ways to use these different pens. First we have the FriXion clicker pens that comes with 0.7 and 0.5 millimeter pen nibs, and they are refillable. These pens are honestly my current favorite to use for making to-do lists and making notes in my calendar and such. It is super comfortable to write with, and if you make any misspelling or mistake, you can just erase it and do it again. I hate crossing out mistakes and scribble over misspelled words. I want my list to be flawless. These pens are also perfect if you are terrible at 3 in a row, like I am. Then we have the FriXion Soft and the FriXion Light highlighter pens. The light ones are more neon color, while the soft ones are more pastel looking. The FriXion highlighters are great for marking important stuff in your calendar or to-do list or school books. I remember when I went to school, like hundreds of years ago, and sometimes I could fill page after page with these green and yellow lines, which isn't very good if you want to pass the book on to another student or your sibling later. The good thing with these highlighters is that when you're done using the book, you can just erase all the marks with a hairdryer, and it will be as good as new. And if you think that the regular neon highlighter colors are too sharp to look at, the soft pastel colors are much nicer to the eye. And if you're getting bored of highlighting important stuff, you can also use the highlighters to draw with. Next we have the FriXion colors that have this finer fiber bullet nib. This works really well for coloring, like filling in coloring pages and such. The ink dries very fast, which minimizes the risk of smudging. When you're done, you can just erase all the colors and start all over again. It is a little like coloring page recycling. A little experiment I tried in a previous video is turning these pens into watercolors. I scribble with them on a piece of plastic so I get this little pool of ink. Then I add water to it with a paintbrush, and then I can paint with them. And when they've dried, they are still erasable. I really like the idea of having erasable watercolors. Another thing that you can use these pens for is to make sketches or guidelines on fabric. Like for example, you can make your own embroidery pattern directly on the fabric, and when you're done sewing, you can erase the pattern with an iron. here I'm making my own artwork on a shirt, sketching with the FriXion pens. Then I'm filling in the sketch with a fabric marker that is amazing, by the way. I will list it down below. And when I'm done, I take the iron and erase the sketch. This step will also secure the fabric markers so that I can wash the shirt without the ink coming off. I am actually really loving how this turned out. Lastly, we have the FriXion ball and FriXion point pens that are 0.7 and 0.5 millimeters, also refillable. Next trick is similar to the one when sketching on fabric, but this time I'm sketching on paper instead. It is very handy if you want to make the line art directly over the rough sketch without having to trace the sketch to new paper and all that stuff. You can make a colorful sketch and then draw with your favorite fine liner directly on top of that. And when you're done, you can easily erase the sketch with a good old hairdryer, and only the line art will still be visible. And if you would happen to miss to fill in anything when making the line art, you can just bring back the sketch by putting it in the freezer. One of the first things that I came to think about when I heard of these pens and that you could erase the ink and bring it back again is secret messages. This is something I would have loved to do when I was a kid. I would have sent secret messages to all my friends all the time. Just make sure to add instructions on the invisible messages, or else it could be pretty confusing what to do with an empty paper. So yeah, there are so many things that you can do with these pens. This was just some of it. Let me know if you have any other ideas how you would use these pens. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you liked this video, that you found it a bit entertaining or helpful at least. So don't forget to go check out the giveaway over at my Instagram and subscribe to my channel and leave a like and a comment and all that fancy stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep drawing my happy cats. Bye!